The following is a presentation of the Technology User Group at the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. For more information about the Technology User Group, including upcoming sessions or archived recordings from previous sessions, please visit our website, lbpd.maryland.gov. That's L, B as in Bravo, P as in Paul, D as in Delta, .maryland.gov.
Would you like to get the Technology User Group presentation every month with little effort? Just subscribe to the Maryland State Library Agency podcast using your favorite podcast catcher. Then each month you will automatically receive informative and inspiring presentation. Remember, you can also listen on your smartphone or speaker. Say something like, "Alexa, play Maryland State Library Agency podcast."
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Technology User Group for December of 2024. And I guess like many other venues around the country, December is sort of the month to kind of reflect back and think about what's been covered and what's been done. And today we're going to look on some of the websites and apps that came out in and around 2024. Not all of them came out exactly in 2024, but we certainly noticed them in 2024, and we'll be talking about some of those. Again, I'm going to be doing some demos. I wanted to start off at the very beginning here with one of the apps that came into vogue, you might say, in 2024 was the Call Annie app. It's I would call it more entertaining than necessarily informational, although it is quite informational. And in fact, it actually has the same parameters as ChatGPT. Does the same things. You can ask for the same types of information. It's just that it's a little bit more personal, where ChatGPT, if you've ever used the app, is a bit more formal sounding. So let's just take a listen here. Okay, we're going to try doing this, the quick demo. Open the Call Annie app.
More button. Call Annie button.
And there's the Call Annie button.
Good to see you again. How is it?
Circle and set fill.
It's good, Annie. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Just enjoying our chat and ready to help you with anything you need. How about you? How's your day going?
My day is going well, Annie. I was wondering if you could tell me about the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled.
Of course, I'd be happy to tell you about the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. It's a wonderful resource for individuals who are blind or have print disabilities. The library provides a wide range of services, including audiobooks, braille materials, large print books, and access to digital resources. They have a fantastic collection of books, magazines, and other materials in accessible formats, so everyone can enjoy reading and learning. They also offer assistive technology and devices to help with reading and accessing information. The Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled is committed to promoting literacy and providing equal access to information for individuals with print disabilities. It's a great organization that truly makes a difference in the lives of many people.
Do they have a technology user group?
Yes, the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled does have a technology user group. It's called the Technology User Group TUG. TUG is a community of individuals who are blind or have print disabilities and are interested in learning and sharing knowledge about assistive technology. The group meets regularly to discuss and explore various technologies such as screen readers, magnification software, accessible apps, and more. It's a great opportunity to connect with others, exchange tips and tricks, and stay up to date with the latest advancements in assistive technology. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced user, TUG provides a supportive and inclusive environment for everyone to enhance their technological skills. It's a wonderful way to learn and connect with like-minded individuals who share a passion for accessible technology.
Do you know when they meet?
The Technology User Group TUG of the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled typically meets on a regular basis, but the specific meeting schedule may vary. It's best to reach out to the library directly to get the most up-to-date information on their meeting dates and times. You can contact the library through their website or give them a call. They will be more than happy to provide you with the details you need to join the TUG meetings and be a part of the technology user community.
Thank you, Annie. Goodbye.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure to help. If you have any more questions in the future, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
And there you have the Call Annie app. It is free. It is available on any platform for your smartphone, whether it be Android or iOS. Of course, all the apps, unless otherwise stated, that we talk about today are free. And so the Call Annie app is, it's more, to me, it's more entertaining, but if you want Call Annie to help you write a letter or, do those types of things that you can do with these AI-driven apps, you can certainly have that done. So I do have the ChatGPT. It's very similar. I'm not going to demonstrate it here today, but it's one of those that if you want to give it a try, you can. It's very similar. But there's another one out there called Gemini. Again, these are all quite accessible and will do pretty much the same kinds of things, get information, but rewrite, write letters, write cover letters, do all kinds of unique things with. So it's one of those things that if you want to play around with a little bit and try to get used to it, it's a neat little app to have. I know that many of you are here to hear the demo of the A skill, the A device using BARD. So let's talk about that a little bit. Anyone can sign up to get on the list if you want to give it a try yourself. It's come a long way from the early days. You can send me either an email or a phone call to the library, 410-230-2446, or jot an email to jerry.price1 at maryland.gov. That's jerry.price and the numeral 1 at maryland.gov. Or you can go to www.surveymonkey.com/the letter R/the letter M as in Maryland, T as in Thomas, B as in boy, hyphen open hyphen beta, which is spelled B as in boy, E T as in Thomas, A. So again, that's www.surveymonkey.com/r/mtb hyphen open hyphen beta. And you can fill out your information there and be put on the list. They have 5,000 people that are participating in the beta right now. It's one of those things, however, that if you don't stay with it, they will cut you off and allow someone else to take over. So if you don't get selected right away, don't despair. That chances are your opportunity will come shortly. So be patient with it. There's also a patron engagement center section of NLS does a presentation on every third Thursday of the month for a limited time called Smart Speaking to the Smart Speaker. It starts at 7 p.m. And again, that's for a limited time. If you're interested in going to this particular presentation, again, contact me and I will send you the link. The link is complicated. So, unfortunately, I can't summarize it here, but it's involved. So just shoot me an email or leave me a phone message saying that you'd like to smart speak to the smart speaker, and I'll know exactly what you're talking about. Again, that's Thursday, the third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. So the next one is coming up this week on the 19th. So that's something that you might be interested in attending. I would be glad to help you out with that. Now, sometimes some households have multiple people that use the A lady. So if you're one of those families that have multiple profiles, it can be a bit challenging sometimes doing the initial setup. There is a link that can be sent to you that may help in that regard. The other option that you have is going to the skills area of your Alexa app on your phone and going to and finding the My Talking Books skill with an S at the end and connect it that way, which is a bit challenging because the connection isn't always obvious where you're supposed to double tap on these particular links to connect it. So it takes a little trial and error and a little bit of frustration, but you can get through it. It's not exactly brain surgery, so you can get through it. So without further ado, let's enable this app and go through it. I can't take questions in the middle of the demo, so I'm just going to go ahead and demo it and then take questions at the end. If I can answer them, we'll see. But it doesn't give you a lot of time to, when you're using the app, it gets frustrated really quickly. So everything you say, it tries to interpret. So it's one of those things where you just can't stop in the middle. Okay. I got knocked away. There we go. From the meeting. There we go. All right. So I don't use the A lady word for my particular Echo device. I use computer. So computer, open my talking books. And then he ignores me. All right. Make sure, I guess I muted it. Okay. That doesn't help, right? Computer, open my talking books.
Welcome back, Jerry, to my talking books. What can I do for you? Say, restart book, to continue listening to your last book. Ask, most recent book, to know its title and reading position.
Computer, restart book.
Reading Trouble on Paradise. Starting from where you left off. Chapter 4. Please wait.
Crashing is something it does fairly often. Well,
Streaming failed. Trying again. Please be patient.
To be a very, very uncomfortable conversation.
yeah, it usually
Good morning,
doesn't
gentlemen.
crash twice.
She said as she walked into her
which is
office and
good.
sat down heavily in her chair. Good morning, Administrator LaJelia. Jenna, we're going to skip the usual briefing today.
Computer?
Something has...
Pause.
What now?
Computer, reduce reading speed.
Either I misheard, or I don't have a book with that title. Say, resume reading, or options from
Computer?
more commands.
Pause.
Thanks.
Computer, decrease reading speed.
Either I misheard, or I don't have a book with that title. Say, resume reading, or options for more commands.
Computer, pause.
Thanks.
Computer, read slower.
Play speed decreased. Say, resume reading.
Computer, resume reading.
Playing now.
Be officially informed soon. I want to tell you personally.
You can see it's a little
Marcellus kept to himself
temperamental,
when
right?
showing
You
the
got to get the
exasperation he
exact
felt in the group.
terminology,
For a
or
brief
it's
time,
not
things had been
going to
going reasonably
do
well for Una.
what you
now
want
that
it
the
to
Ruhar
do.
fleet had stationed the battle group at Paradise. Marcellus had been waiting for the spell to be broken, for disaster to strike
Computer,
Una.
pause.
What now?
Computer, jump back 10 minutes.
Jumping backward 10 minutes.
See the rhodium signature? The technician pointed to the display. Typical hull coding for crusading
Jump
ships.
is your key
Molecules have
word.
been ablating off as the
So,
ship passes through charged particles of the solar wind. They can't activate
say
shields
move
from cold
back,
because they know we would
it's
eventually detect that
probably
foul
not going
radiation.
to do it.
Agreed. So, this cloud we found was left
Computer,
behind.
pause.
What now?
Computer, go to beginning of chapter.
Annotation. Library of Congress annotation.
Library of Congress annotation. The crew of the UN Expeditionary
Computer,
Forces.
pause.
What now?
Computer, where am I?
Reading annotation. Library of Congress annotation. We are at 0% at 44 seconds out of 6 hours 17 minutes. Say, resume reading, or options for more commands.
Computer, more options.
I heard. More options, and I don't know what to do with it. Say, resume reading, or options for more commands.
Computer, options.
Would you like help finding your position, navigation, table of contents, reading speed, bookmarks, or sleep timers? Say help with, followed by your option like help with table of contents.
Computer, pause.
Thanks.
Computer, bookshelf.
Bookshelves. Default bookshelf. Say yes to selected or say options for more commands.
Computer, yes.
Default bookshelf. 1. Early Checkout by Diane Capri. 2. Trouble on Paradise by Craig Allenson. 3. Nightshade by John Saul. Say a number or words from the title or say options for more commands.
Computer, read book 1.
To help me find the book you want, your question must start with books and include the search field like title, author, genre, or subject. Try books titled The Lion King or books subject dogs. Going back, you were selecting book 1. Early Checkout by Diane Capri.
Computer,
2.
pause.
Thanks, you were selecting book
Computer,
1.
read early checkout.
Reading Early Checkout. Loading the table of contents. Starting from title and author. Please wait.
Early Checkout by Diane Capri. DB 123255.
There are preferences that you can set if you wanted to start reading at a particular speed,
Read by Mayor Trevathan.
but we're not going to
Approximate
cover
reading time,
that today.
12 hours, 20 minutes. This book
Computer,
contains
pause.
What now?
Computer, most popular books.
BARD Popular Books. First 10 of 301. 1. In Too Deep, a Reacher novel. By Lee Child, Andrew Child. 2. Counting Miracles, a novel. By Nicholas Sparks. 3. The Christmas Inn, a novel. By Pamela M. Kelly. 4. The Waiting, by Michael Connolly. 5.
Computer,
Shadow.
pause.
Thanks.
Computer, recently added books.
BARD Recent Books. First 10 of 778. 1. Elder Law in a Nutshell. By Richard L. Kaplan. Audio not yet available. 2. Enchantress. By James Maxwell. Audio not yet available. 3. The Sorrow Apartments. By Andrea Cohen. Audio not yet available. 4. The Secrets of Dumbledore. By J. K. Rowling. Steve Kloves.
Computer,
Audio not.
pause.
Thanks. Awaiting your input.
As you can see, it doesn't give you much time.
I heard. Much
Computer,
time.
pause.
Thanks. You were selecting book. First 10 of 778. 1. Elder Law in a Nutshell. By Richard L.
Computer, pause.
Thanks. You were selecting book.
Computer, exit. Should point out that magazines are not part of the process. So if you're a magazine or periodical reader, you're not going to be able to get content, or so it probably wouldn't be something that you would be interested at this time. Doesn't mean they won't add it somewhere down the road, but for now, it's not. As you also heard, it said audio not available. So for some of the new titles, because they haven't put it, apparently it uses a different method. So the audio is available if you were to download the book on your computer or download the book using your BARD mobile app, but it's not available for the A device. So that can be a little wonky. You can read multiple books and it will remember where you left off in each one. You can set up multiple bookshelves. So if you want one for mystery, one for general reading or bestsellers, or however you like to set them up. I'm not really big into categories and trying to set up every feature that a particular app has, but you can see how that it reads clearly. You can actually increase the book volume without increasing the how loud you have your A device, because some books just don't seem like it's very loud in the using the skill, and so you may want to turn that up so you do have control over that. Of course, it don't have control over the tone and all that kind of stuff. And of course, your A lady has an equalizer built into it. You can definitely mess with the tone there and change it, but it's just basically the books. But you can see it's very temperamental. You have to tell it to pause before every operation so that it doesn't crash. And it, as you saw with the reading of the book, it will crash. Fortunately now, though, it does try to reconnect. Before, that wasn't one of the things it used to do. It used to be when it crashed and didn't play the audio, you actually had to go back into the skill again and restart it. So they are making progress. It's getting better. And of course, those of you that use a skill like Audible will say that it really has a long way to go. But those of you who use other skills that are similar, say like the Bookshare skill, then you see that they're kind of comparable in some ways. So if you do have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask it. I might know the answer. Alt A is how you mute and unmute yourself, or star 6 if you're using a phone. Again, Alt A or star 6, or you can just email me the question if you have something in particular that wasn't covered or that you felt wasn't explained well enough.
No, this is Karen.
Karen,
I have
this
a
is
question.
Janet.
Okay, one at a time here. Who wants to go first?
Real quick, Jerry, was it call Annie or ask Annie?
It's Call Annie.
Call Annie, thank you.
Yep. And the next?
This is Karen. I was having a hard time the other day figuring out how to tell her to stop reading the book. I don't know if you covered that today.
Yeah, well,
Came a couple of minutes late.
so the best thing to do is you can tell it to pause first, and then you can tell it to exit. It's got to be exit, or it will just stay in the skill listening for words, which,
Okay.
as you can see, is very irritating.
Okay. Exit. I remember that. And
Yeah,
I didn't know that
yeah.
word. And
So
I
yeah,
just didn't know what to
exit.
do.
Yeah, it's very
So,
word specific. So
okay. So
yes,
what I did, um,
Well,
I
if worst comes
asked her
to
for
worst, you
a
can always unplug the A device, right? And just make it stop.
what I
Like,
did,
leave me alone.
I asked her to do a sleep whatever,
Okay.
like a sleep timer.
There you go.
I think I read that somewhere where you can do that. I didn't know how to do it, but I said,
Yeah,
well,
but you figured it out. Yes.
so yeah, so
Sleep
I just
timer is incorporated into it, which is great.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
said it different ways, and finally she got it. So I said, do a sleep timer for 1 minute, and that worked. That worked. I was like,
Awesome.
good, go to sleep because
Yeah. So you were
Hi,
thinking.
I remember exit. Thank you.
Exit.
this is Melissa. What I done was said bye, and she exited.
And she exited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bye.
It can be very hard to get out of it sometimes and it's always listening. That's why I can't stop the demo in the middle and just say things. I can't tell it to pause and wait because it's not going to. But it's coming a long way, and of course, it has 5,000 people now testing it, so it's going to make progress as they develop it, and hopefully, it will get to the point where it is. I won't say comparable to Audible, but maybe similar. Audible has all the patents because it's an Amazon product, just like the A Lady is. So it's never going to get quite to that point, but hopefully, somewhere down the line, it will be comparable.
That's just Karen. I have another question.
Hmm.
I do have of course, a digital copy of the user manual, but are they going to put out like a shortcut list of commands, or is one available?
I think there is one available. There is a list of all the commands right now. It's a fairly lengthy list, but shoot me an email, and I think I can send you the shortcut list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your name?
It's jerry.price1@maryland.gov.
Okay. Your
Yeah,
information's in the that invitation's put a.
it is.
It
And
should be in there somewhere. Okay.
yeah, or just call the library and ask for Jerry.
All right.
I'm the only one there.
Okay. That was Jerry dot
Yeah,
Price
Jerry with
one.
a J. So jerry.price1@maryland.gov.
All right. Thank you.
Gotta have that numeral one after it, because apparently there's more than one Jerry there in the Maryland government system. So shocking as it is.
Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah, one thing I would like to see is a sequence of commands for specific tasks. So if you already have a book, for example, how do you get from the very initial case to reading the book? Just the sequence to get you there.
Right.
And start reading where you
Yeah,
left off.
you'd like to skip over all the annotation stuff and
Yeah, just a straight, I mean, a supplement, because I went through that manual and there's a lot of information, no doubt, but the problem is to do simple things like just start reading from where you left off. There's just a few simple steps, but you have to know what they are. And the
yes.
same if you want to return a book, or the same if you want to search for specific books. I mean, there's got to be a whole lot of things that are just basic tasks that require several steps, and there should be a list of the sequential list of the commands that you give to do those basic tasks.
Yeah,
That's what I find really
and one of those
frustrating.
basic tasks is deleting a book too, which is a little bit more challenging
Yes,
than probably what it needs to be,
yes,
because you have to go to your bookshelf first and then remove the book that way.
yeah.
Which you have to do on the BARD mobile app as well, but still, it just seems like it's a little cumbersome. It would be nice if we could just delete it from when it says the book is done. It would be nice to just say delete this title or whatever, but it will not do that.
But again, there's a sequence, and if that sequence were there,
And you
then
gotta follow
then
it exactly. And it like I said, it's a little cumbersome.
yeah, and the cumbersomeness is fine as long as it says somewhere what the sequence is.
Right.
That's the tricky part. So. Thanks. Yeah.
Sure. Any other comments or questions about?
Yeah, this is
this?
Karen. I have another question.
Sure.
You're speaking about deleting a book, or suppose you just want to hold on to it for a little bit. Does it stay on your bookshelf, or
Yep,
does
it
it
will
go
stay on your
somewhere else?
bookshelf until you remove it. So if you don't remove it, it's just going to stay there.
Okay.
So there's no time frame for how long a book is going to be on that bookshelf.
Okay. And there's no like uh quiet mama. There's no other bookshelf like a
Well, you can set up
like
multiple
so
bookshelves
it
as you
wouldn't be
want
popping
to,
up
but
every time with all your
right.
other
But if you
books.
don't set any up, it'll always be the default. That's probably why I
Okay.
don't do it. That's why I don't set up multiple bookshelves because I would get lost in a hurry.
Right, right. Because you could have a bookshelf of books just to keep.
Yeah, you could
Right.
set up a bookshelf and just call it Books to Keep
Right.
and then
Okay.
add that title to the Books to Keep bookshelf.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that the the skill is, for me personally, much better than the Bookshare skill, and it took me a while to figure it out, but I was able to figure it out. This is Melissa, by the way.
Bookshare will be doing a presentation in February, by the way, about their app and their Alexa skills. So they will be by in February. Which is good because the app needs a little explaining, I think. Some people are having challenges with it. Any other questions about BARD skill before we move on to some of these other apps and websites that are out there, as well as we do have Courtney doing a presentation on the user app, which is kind of for, for the Baltimore metro area, those people that use mobility in that area. There is a service called User, and she does it. And I'm going to save that for the very end because I know not all of you are in that particular area. So we're going to move on, I guess, and we're going to talk about some other apps and some other websites anymore. If there's an app, there's probably a website, as you probably have come to notice. Um, we talked about, the Call Annie. We talked about Chat GPT. There actually is a phone number where you can actually call Annie, but you can get that information once you sign up for the once you get the Call Annie app. There's that information in it that you can get, and there's actually a phone number that you can call and talk to her on the phone like you were a real person, which is interesting. So a couple of the websites that I found useful in 2024. There is something that I really do often, and that is I tend to write when I write articles or write emails or write anything. I tend to often put things in a passive voice, which is something that if you use the spell checker on Word, they tell you passive voice, consider revising. So if you do a lot of writing and you want to have some assistance in turning your passive sentences into active ones, there is a website out there and probably an app, but I know for a fact there's a website called writerbuddy.ai. And writerbuddy.ai will take your passive sentences and give you several choices of which active sentence you would like to use. And so it's extremely helpful. Again, that's writer, WRITERBUDDY.ai. So if you do a lot of writing, that's a website to check out. And one of the other things that you've heard me do if you come to these presentations on a regular basis, that there are times when I will put things in a different voice because I know people get sick of hearing mine. And so if there's some information that is relatively short and I want to put it into a different voice, I use a service called the Love Voice Free Text to Speech Online. And love is spelled L-U-V. So Love Voice Free to Text to Speech Online converts your text into clear audio that is easy to understand. And if you want to go to that website, it is LUVVOICE.com. So lovevoice.com. It's kind of one of those other weird things. I've always told my students that there are times when you are going to find that Google isn't going to get you the information that you need, that it's good to try other web browsers. So the Love Voice is one of those options that showed up on the DuckDuckGo browser rather than using Google. So just wanted to point that out, and it to always diversify your searching options. If you don't find what you're looking for with Google, then try a different search engine because different things will get pulled up. And again, that's lovevoice.com. Very easy to use. You just paste your text in there, convert it, and download the MP3 file, which is super easy. One of the other things that often happens when writing is that sometimes you want, for fun, or maybe even not so much fun, but sometimes you want to see how AI would write a certain passage or a paragraph. And we had done some of this when we did the AI presentation. I think it was back in February, of taking a simple phrase or something like that and converting it into an article. And some of the articles that you can get AI to write are quite scholarly. That's why it's going to be a real challenge for these teachers to distinguish between what's written by AI and what's written by a person. So there is a paraphrasing tool out there from WordTune AI that does a pretty good job of taking, write a few paragraphs about technology for the visually impaired, and it will do so and make it sound scholarly. And the one that I'm talking about here is from wordtune.com. That's WORDTUNE.com. It's kind of an entertaining tool. Of course, one of the websites that came out this year is the BARD Mobile Express website. Well, of course, you say, well, BARD Mobile's been around for a while, right? I mean, it's been out for years and years. But now the BARD Mobile Express can play your audiobooks on your computer. So that's an option that people have now should they want to listen to books in that fashion. It's kind of not for me because I'm not much of a sitter. But if you want to be able to listen to BARD books on your computer, you can download the BARD Mobile Express utility from the NLS BARD site where you go to get your books. If you actually go on that main page and go down toward the bottom, you'll see that there is a link for the BARD Mobile Express. And to download it, you download it, you install it, you log into it, and you will see that you can actually download books to your computer and play them, and it will remember where you left off and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely an option should you want to use it, and that just came out this year. In fact, just a few months ago. So BARD Mobile Express. There is a news site for those that like local news from all over the United States called haystack.tv. It's an app, it's a website. I think the website's probably easier to use than the app, but it's out there for both. And of course, as you have probably discovered, a lot of television stations have their local news. That's the one thing that they can transmit everywhere. And so this is just simply a website that collects all those and has them available. And it also has a lot of on-demand material there as well. So you can check out haystack.tv. That's haystack.tv. Again, for local news, weather, um, all across the country. So you can, watch live broadcasts there and that kind of thing. And yes, it does have the Baltimore, Washington ones on there. I haven't checked some of the smaller communities, so I'm assuming that if it's available, it's on there. So check that out. There were a bunch of apps that were green lighted by AppleVis, which is the place to go when you want to see if an app is available in an accessible form. And if it's not an accessible form, it will usually let you know that as well. So applevis.com and check out the accessible apps. They had listed a few. Of course, they listed Gemini. It's on there for 2024. Winamp came out with a music player for smartphones. So if you are a big proponent of Winamp and want to use that for your music playing, it's on there. There's an app called Online Radio Box, which is also completely accessible, which is always great. And if you're into Twisted Tales, there is the Red Riding Hood Twisted Tales app for your smart device that is completely accessible and apparently quite entertaining. I would say that in case you didn't realize it, and this is a paid app, but in case you didn't realize it, for those of you who love the Victor Reader Stream, there is, of course, the Victor Reader Stream uses uTunes as its radio gatherer. So there is an uTunes radio app that you can purchase. It's been out for a long time. It is completely accessible, but they do charge a one-time fee of I think it's $4.99 or $4.95, something like that. So the uTunes radio app is available on an iPhone should you want it, because sometimes the radio stations that you find on the Victor Reader Stream are kind of hard to find anywhere else. So if you want that to transfer over to your iDevice, you can set it up there. And I don't know if I would guess that if you actually created the account, it would probably automatically transfer them over, but there's no way to automatically sign in on a Victor Reader, so it's kind of a moot point, right? But it is a useful little app, and it also has the added ability to record. So if you like recording off of certain stations from your Victor, you can also use it to record these stations on your iDevice or smartphone. So that is something to keep in mind, that that you can translate that over. And you can see I've been yammering and talking and all this other stuff, and I didn't even get to like the Sono AI that generates music that people really enjoy playing around with and that kind of thing. But we are coming to the point where I do want to play Courtney's presentation on the user app, how to use it effectively. Because as you know, a lot of people will download the app and sometimes you run into complications. So here is the user, and this is about 10 minutes long or so, so enjoy. And as it goes off, just know that we will be meeting on the second Saturday of every month in 2025. So I hope that you guys can come out. The Columbia Lighthouse will be doing a presentation along with the Maryland Accessible Telecommunications Program, and that will be coming out in January. So I hope that you will be able to come back. But anyway, here's Courtney.
Today I'll be demonstrating an app for iOS. I'm not 100% sure whether it's available for Android or not, but it's called UServe Ride.
1443 *** 569 has left the meeting.
It's spelled U-Z as in zero, U-R-V as in Victor. So people pronounce it UServe, but it's spelled like UServe. Anyway, I will be demonstrating the iOS version of the app. And in case you're not familiar with it, UServe is a ride app for the disabled. You have to have a UServe ID, well, a UServe email. You need to have an account, which my account is affiliated with MTA Mobility Call a Ride. So you need to put, when you're creating your UServe account, you need to put your Mobility MTA Call a Ride ID, your regular MTA Mobility ID, like you're booking a ride. And you also need to have a valid email address that you have access to as you create the account, because you're going to need to confirm it. Unfortunately, I've created my account already, so I can't show you that process. But I am going to show you the process of booking a ride and what the screen looks like when you're looking at your ride details.
User ride.
I'm
One new item.
opening UServe.
User ride. Good afternoon, Courtney. Heading level 1 banner, landmark. Account. Button end. Banner.
And that's your account information. If you were to double tap that, you would see the details, like that it's affiliated with MTA Call a Ride.
Select history selected. Upcoming tab 1 of 3.
And then
tab.
you have a tab for your upcoming rides, your history, and then
support tab 3 of 3.
Support.
Tab. History tab 2. November. Support
and
tab
then
3 of 3.
Under upcoming rides, you see your rides that you have booked already, which I have mine booked, but we're not going to look at that yet. We're going to make the test ride first, and then you'll see it.
New ride request. Button content
I'm
information.
going to do a new ride
landmark.
request. I'm double tapping.
New ride request. Heading level 1 banner, landmark.
And I will note that up until today, if you hadn't updated to iOS 18, the date and time selector, well, especially the date picker, the date where it says choose what day you want to ride on, if you're scheduling a ride for in advance, it wasn't labeled. But looking on a phone that was not updated to iOS 18 today, I discovered that's labeled now. I don't know how it happened, but everything seems to be good. Anyway.
Close. But I need a ride right now. Button main.
If you needed
landmark.
a ride right now, you would double tap that. But this is a test, so we're not going to do that.
I need to schedule a ride for later. Button end.
Yes,
main.
that one.
I need to schedule a ride for later. Button end.
I
Main.
just double tapped
Need
it.
help? Pickup date. Close. Button. Pickup location.
Pick up
Description.
location.
Choose location.
This is where
Button
you would
main.
choose your
Landmark.
location.
Pickup location. Description. Choose location. Home.
And you have your
Current
favorites.
Recent.
You have recents.
Recent.
I am going to do a pickup from the library.
415 Park Avenue, Baltimore, MD 21201, USA. Button. 415 Park Avenue, Baltimore, MD
And I just double tap that
21201,
to select
USA.
it.
Description. Selected. Description. Close. Button
And
end.
sometimes it
Banner.
doesn't leave off where you think it would. You would think it would put you back out at your pickup, where you choose your pickup location, and then you could swipe directly over to the drop-off, but it doesn't. So I swipe left,
Drop off. Need
and
help?
now I'm swiping
Drop-off
back
location.
right to get to
Description.
drop-off.
Choose location. Drop off location.
Right, let's choose
Description.
a drop-off.
Choose location. Button end. Main. Read. 17920. 17924 Blair Road. Nottingham. MD 21236. USA. Button. 7924 Blair Road. Nottingham. MD 21236. USA. Choose time. Button.
See, it just drops you at a random place after you double tap whatever the destination is. So it dropped me at pickup time.
Will pick up description. Description.
I'm swiping back
Description.
left.
Selected. Description. Pickup date. Heading level 2. Need help? Call now.
And if
Button.
you needed help, you could call.
Pickup date. Heading
Now
level
here's
2.
the pickup date. This is the part that wasn't labeled for some pre-iOS 18 users, but I'm on iOS 18, so it's going to show as labeled. And it showed up as labeled on a person's phone who was still on 17, so maybe it's okay.
Selected. Description. Today, November 18th.
That would
List
be
start.
today,
Description. Tomorrow, November 19th.
19th.
Description. Wednesday, November 20th.
So it has 3 days, if you count today, that are available on this, on the outer thing, before you would hit choose date. So let's try it for the 21st, which is Thursday. Let's go into the date picker.
Description. Choose custom date. Ellipsis. List end. Friday, November. Cancel. Button. Thursday, opening
And
November
this
7th.
is one thing I don't like.
State of Maryland, sign in. Loading complete. Main region.
It's a
Maryland,
calendar
Presented
view,
text.
so you kind of have to do a lot of scrolling and swiping until you find the date you want.
1443 star 364 has joined the meeting. Thursday, Friday, Thursday, November 21st.
And then you
Button.
double tap.
Selected. Thursday, November 21st. Wednesday,
And then you have to scroll back left to confirm.
Month. Confirm. Button.
It would be a lot easier if they did it like how they do the time, which I'll show you in a minute.
Back. Need help? Call. Pickup date. Heading. Description. Thursday, November 20th. Pickup. Will call info. Pickup time.
Pickup
Heading
time,
level 2.
and you can do a will call ride.
Choose time.
Choose,
Button.
or you can choose time.
Will call in. Choose time. Button. Choose time. Cancel.
We're going to
Button.
choose time.
Confirm. 3 o'clock. Picker item.
And it
Adjustable.
has it
3 of 12.
as the time that it is right now. But let's say I want a 1 o'clock pickup from the library to go to Duncan.
2 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 36 minutes. Picker item.
Yeah, how about
Adjustable.
1:30?
37 of 6. 32 minutes.
I'm swiping
33 of
down
60.
through the times,
31 minutes. 30 minutes.
through the minutes.
31 of 60.
And then you would do the same when it says hours, select hours,
1 o'clock. Picker item. Adjustable.
picker
1 of
item.
12.
So then you would swipe up or down whether it was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
PM.
And then
Picker
you would
item.
select AM or
Adjustable.
PM.
2 of 2. 30. 1 o'clock. Confirm. Button.
To confirm.
Back. Button banner. Need help? Call. Pickup date. Description. Pickup time. Heading. Will call in 1:30 p.m. Will call. Switch button.
And then
Off.
if it was a will call ride, you would switch that on by double tapping. But this is not, so we'll leave that alone.
Choose vehicle type. Heading
This is
level
where
2.
you would choose the vehicle type.
Basic standard vehicle that seats 3-4 passengers. Radio
We're
button.
going to choose
Checked.
basic.
Passengers. Heading level 2. Basic standard vehicle that seats 3-4 passengers. Radio button. Checked.
And I think I've never had to go in
Check.
there, but
Passengers.
I
Heading
think
level
there
2.
are options for other types of vehicles. Maybe something where the person would need a van with the lift. I'm not 100% sure because I've never done it. But it just says radio button 1 of 1.
Choose up to 4 passengers for this ride. Current number of passengers is 1. Button.
And then that's where you would choose the number of passengers. If you were to double tap. that's
Choose
what
up
it would-
web dialog. Cancel. But confirm. 1. Button. 2. Button.
And it's just a button, so you would double tap
4.
the number that you
Button.
wanted.
4. 3, 2, 1. Confirm. Cancel. Button.
Cancel.
Cancel. Choose. Need help? Call. Pick. Pick up. Will choose. Big pass. Choose up to 4 pass. Payment. Pay fare at pickup.
And this is, you could select a payment method, but the only method is cash, so that's a bit misleading. But it will say your fare estimate,
Rider fee estimate. $8.
$8. So it's out of the 10-mile range. Because it's 10 miles, it's $3. And then it's more after the 10 miles.
Display payment details collapsed. Button.
Display payment details collapsed. You would double
Display
tap
payment
it,
details expanded.
and it'll say cash only.
Change payment method. Button. Details. Heading
Yeah,
level
you
2.
can't.
Base fare up to 0 miles. $3. Add driver note.
It's really up to
Button.
10 miles.
Details. Heading. Change payment method. Button. Change payment. Payment. Heading left. Pay fare. Info. Button. Pay fare at pickup. Select pay fare at pickup. Button.
Yep, that's
Accepted
the
payment methods.
only.
Bullet. List stock. Cash. List end. Cash.
See,
List
that's
end.
the only accepted payment method.
Web. Web. Pay fare at pick. Payment. Head. Button web dialog. Button web dialog. Landmark. Close.
Collapse that.
Act web dialog. Need help? Call pick pick will call it 1:30. Will choose big pass. Choose payment. Pay fare. Rider fee. Display. Change details. Base fare up to 0. 3. Add estimate. Confirm estimate. Add driver note.
And if you
Button.
need to add a driver note, like you need door-to-door assistance or anything, if you have a service animal, really any driver note that you could think of, you would double tap here. You get 250 characters.
Add a character count 0 out of 2. Add any special instructions for the driver. Ellipsis. Multi-line text field main. Door-to-door. Thank you. Door-to-door assistance is needed. Thank character count 44 out of 250. Thank door-to-door assistant. Close. Button. Done.
And then
Button
you swipe
content
to the
information.
right for done.
Landmark. Done.
And then double tap
Content
done.
information. Landmark. Base $3. Driver note. Edit driver. Door. Remove. Estimated drop off. 1:59 p.m.
Yes, you can see your estimated drop-off. And then you hit confirm.
Confirm and request ride now.
Confirm
Button.
and request. And you do get a text message and a notification. But seeing as I have my phone muted, that's not going to pop through.
Confirm and request ride now. Ride request sent.
Ride
Heading level
request
1 main.
sent.
Landmark. Thursday 11/21/24-1:30 p.m.
That's where you see the ride details.
Rider fee estimate. $8. Pickup location. 415 Park Avenue, Baltimore. MD 21201. Drop-off location. 7924 Blair Road, Nottingham. MD 21236. Estimated drop-off time. 1:59 p.m. Ride type scheduled. Passenger count 1. Cancel ride. Add another.
And that's
Button.
where you would cancel a ride, or you would add a
617 has left the meeting. Add return trip.
Well,
Button.
you would add another, but by add another, it has to be on that specific date. So if you were going to, let's say, from Dunkin' to, I don't know, the grocery store, you would add another. And then if you were going from the grocery store to home, you would add yet another after you add from Dunkin' to the grocery store. So, unless you were going, we didn't do one from home to anywhere, but if I was going back to the library after Dunkin', I would hit add return ride. And let's go back into
Heading level 1 main. I'm done. Button
I'm
end.
done.
Main. New ride
go to
request.
upcoming,
Button content
not
information.
history.
Land. Upcoming ride on Tuesday.
No, we don't want that
New
one.
ride request. Upcoming ride on Thursday. Upcoming ride on Thursday, November 21st at 1:30 p.m. from 415 Park Avenue, Baltimore. MD 21201, USA to 7924 Blair Road, Nottingham. MD 21236, USA. Upcoming ride details. Heading
This
level
is
1
where,
end.
if you
Banner.
did have a will call ride, there would be a button to activate it. But this is not a will call, so it's not going to be there.
Finding a driver, ellipsis.
Yeah, it says
Heading
it's
level
finding
2
a
main.
driver,
Landmark.
which, don't worry, because it's in 2 days, it doesn't matter, or 3 days. But sometimes even the night before, you can see who your driver's going to be when you look at the screen.
Thursday, November 21st at 1:30 p.m. Pickup location.
Yes, that's the
drop off 70,
details.
estimate 50, fare. Heading level 15.8 miles vertical line 23 minutes. Heading level 2, fare total. Rider fee estimate, $8. Display payment details collect. Cancel request. Button
Or
end.
you can cancel
Main.
the request. And if you cancel it, you get a notification saying ride canceled.
Cancel request. Button end. Main.
And that is the UServe Ride app. And it's a game changer. It helps when you call the UServe number and it's busy, you can't get somebody, so you can just book it yourself.
And there she goes. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you all for coming today. All right.
In Maryland's tech-savvy land of innovation, a group of minds with wisdom and elation. The technology user group, a shining light, bring knowledge to the people day and night. With meetings and events, they share their might. In forums and workshops, they ignite the passion for progress. They never tire and bring the future closer like a burning fire. Their expertise in tech, a treasure to behold, a wealth of knowledge young and old. From coding to AI, they dive and soar and make the complex simple once more. With every step, they pave the way for a brighter tomorrow today. In Maryland's tech scene, they shine so bright. The technology user group, a beacon of light. In Maryland's tech-savvy land of innovation, a group of minds with wisdom and elation. The technology user group, a shining light, bring knowledge to the people day and night. With meetings and events, they share their might. In forums and workshops, they ignite the passion for progress. They never tire and bring the future closer like a burning fire. Their expertise in tech, a treasure to behold, a wealth of knowledge young and old. From coding to AI, they guide and soar and make the complex simple once more. With every step, they pave the way for a brighter tomorrow today. In Maryland's tech scene, they shine so bright. The technology user group, a beacon of light.